Importance of Linux security. We're going to spend so much time talking about Linux, how we could secure the Linux operating system. But first, let's take a look at why it is so important to put a security around Linux. So, the first thing that we need this Linux security is to protect our data. So data is the most valuable thing in the computer or in IT world. And everything we do in IT is about data. So when you say IT, it's information over technology. So what is that information? That information is saved in terms of as data. So we need to protect that data, and that's why we need a Linux security or any type of security where that data is sitting, whether it's Windows security or Solaris security. But security around operating system is the primary reason is to protect that data. Second is to protect the system resources. So of course you're gonna get attacked by people who would actually attack your server. They could actually attack specifically through your memory or to your CPU or directly to your disk. So where all these resources become inoperable. So when you cannot, or when your memory or when your computer memory or CPU or disk cannot function, or they get infected with the virus, what happens? Then you lose your workflows, your application workflows. So you need to protect your application workflows as well. And those workflows run with the help of memory, CPU, disk, and many other computer resources. So computer resources in the background are working hand in hand just to make sure the applications that run on top of them are supported. Then another important thing of Linux security. Now keep in mind all these Linux security, the importance, why do we need it? All of these that I have listed here are through my personal experiences. If you go on Google or any search engine and type importance of Linux security or why do we need Linux security, most likely you're not going to find anything. You're probably going to find so many of Linux security tips and tools that would tell you how to secure Linux, but you're not going to find why do we need to secure. So I'm listing all these topics, all these big points here to make you understand the importance of having Linux security. Anyway, moving on, the fourth and the most important of having Linux security is because of the audit compliance. We do get audited, or companies do get audited, and every time they get audited, they have to provide how they are protecting the customer if they have any customers, or how are they protecting the data, or how or what type of practices they have in place to protect their resources. There is something called SOC, which stands for Service Organization Controls. Also, maybe you have heard of SOC reports. The SOC reports actually became effective on June 15th, 2011. Now, these reports can be requested by government or by your clients or anybody external to your company or even your board members. So if you're running a company, let's say ABC, anyone who is actually has any type of involvement or has any incentives that is vested to or in your company can come in and request that SOC reports. So because we need to have those SOC reports are generated based on all those Linux security standards. Moving on, we need Linux security for less human errors. So we don't make any mistakes. We make things so secure. Even if I fat finger or mistype something, we will make less errors. Then control management, of course, security is implemented so we make, of course, less mistake and we give the control to who gets what or who can access what. So let's say if I want John to log into this machine, and I don't want John to not log into this machine. Why is that? Because of the security concern. If I want John to access this file and I want John not to access the other file. Why? Because the John does not have privy or is not privy to the other file, and he could only view the other file. That is also a security mechanism we put in place. Then, of course, in the end is the peace of mind, which is what everybody needs when you have security around. Just like I explained earlier, when you have locks in your house, when you have locks in your drawer, everything is secure. You sleep good at night. Why? Because you have that peace of mind that your house is secure. Just like that, when your environment, when your computer, your Linux environment is secure, your manager, yourself, or anybody who is involved in Linux security will be sleeping really nicely at night, and of course will have a peace of mind. These are the few Linux security tips, or not the tips, Linux security importances that I wanted to discuss, and as I said again, all of them are based on my own experiences.